Wake up.
Hey, this is comics writer Kyle Higgins, and you've jumped inside the Pull Bag, only on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hello, and welcome to episode 404 of the Pull Bag. That's right, it's the 404th episode. I'm, of course, TFG1Mike. Joining me today is Edward and Kendra Hale. Hello, folks. How are you all?
Hello.
Oh, we're good.
Yes, yay. I'm surviving, but it is what it is. We are here, folks, and as you'll hear at some point in this podcast, I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. No clue. However, the big joke of 404 is error, 404, this not found, that not found, so 404 comics not found. Of course, we're going to start by talking about comics, and then some weird, creepy Karen lady is going to come in and do some sort of vocal thing, and then we'll be talking about other things. I don't know. So, what are you currently reading, Ed?
I just got done reading the Spawn Compendium Volume 1, first 50 issues of the Spawn main series. That was massively enjoyable. But currently reading the Batman and Robin New 52 series by Tomasi and Gleason. Mm-hmm. I started picking that up on a whim and realized it was magical, and I'm like 4 volumes deep in that now, so enjoying every page of it.
What about you, Kendra? You have a long list.
I really do. I was trying to think while it was saying what he was reading. I'm like, shit, how do I make this shorter?
Like Image Comics.
Right. I mean, like, for real right now, I'm fully in Images realm with a lot, and honestly, the shorter list is probably I'm doing the reviews for Xenoscope, so I'm doing the Grimm's Fairy Tales ongoing and their quarterly, which I didn't realize there were so many quarterlies when I said that I would do that, because when I heard quarterly, I'm like, oh yeah, that's like once every blue moon they'll do this like bigger book. But no, there's been like 3 of them in the last month, and I'm like, well, damn. All right. But I mean, that's really the short list currently, because otherwise we could be here all day. I mean, I've got my hands in a lot of pots currently, so we're gonna go with just Image on the whole.
Yeah.
And a couple little spots in Xenoscope currently, because I'm waiting on Harley to start.
I've got some Vertigo incoming with the 100 Bullets, and some more Image with Darkness, so we're both kind of in that vein.
Yeah. Surprisingly non-DC.
Well, Vertigo, yes, but
I know, for me, I'm like, I'm really not. I've taken a little break from DC, although I did recently order Volume 1 of The Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. Mm-hmm. So once that arrives on the 19th of March, we may be speaking in the past. We're in the future speaking to the past again.
Right.
But
yes,
so once that arrives, I'll be fully DC for a little bit until I finish it.
And then I'll read it. She gets done with it.
Because I've been that.
Infinite Frontiers. Who comes up with these names?
I think that was stolen from Star Trek.
Actually, it was stolen from John F. Kennedy's speech.
Oh, was it?
It was actually the basis for the Darwin Cook series, New Frontier.
That's cool.
That entire speech that he has at the end called Infinite Frontier, and he was talking about what lay ahead of mankind evolving, and it was actually a really good speech.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little bit of a history buff too. A little bit.
Mine sits squarely in like World War II, so if we're talking World War II, then I'm your girl. But
I mean, hey, as long as Steve Rogers can punch Hitler and Donald Trump in the mouth, I'm good.
Right?
I'm down.
You know what else I'm excited for? I'm excited for Milestone Comics. I want some Static Shock.
Milestone is coming back, yeah.
I know they are. I'm waiting, like, on pins and needles. I want Static so So bad.
Icon.
Yeah,
I want him and Static Shock.
Honestly, I don't mind anything.
Hardware? Hardware, was that the other one?
They've got like some titles coming.
Yeah, so many.
Dude, I'm so excited. It's like a resurgence of my youth.
Well, again, because they're coming back and, they're, doing all this stuff, and it's really cool that they're bringing it back to, bring more people in, and, we kind of need all of that in comics currently.
Right.
What?
And then, of course, there's Keanu Reeves and Berserker, but that's a tale for another story.
For another time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if Keanu wants to write a comic book, go for it, dude. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
He's got some top-notch talent on there with it, and it's already selling like crack in the street, man. It's redonkulous. I've seen copies of it going for $500 already.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like the John Romita cover or something like that, and I'm just like,
oh, okay.
Lord.
I'm just like, I'll just wait for the trade, which comes out in May of this year, which is the 4 issues for $12. So, I'm good with that. I don't need to go. I don't need to go all John Wick with Keanu in comics. Although there are, surprisingly, I guess I shouldn't have been, but I was really surprised that there were John Wick comics.
Actually, this is the first I've heard about it. I didn't know there were.
Yep.
That's freaking cool.
I mean, I actually dug the story in the movies, and it kind of lends itself to a really good comic book. Some crime noir stuff, 100 Bullets, something in that vein. Vertigo, dropping names. But, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I would read it. Sure.
Who's it coming out from, Mike?
It's been out.
I know. Who's it coming from, though?
It is from Dynamite. It was released April 24th of 2019.
Wow.
If you have Comixology Unlimited, it's available.
Ooh.
It says read for free with Comixology Unlimited, John Wick Volume 1. When a young John Wick
on my to read list.
When a young John Wick embarks upon an epic vendetta, he comes up against a strange, powerful community of assassins and must learn how to master the rules that guide their lethal business. What are the 3 bills? Who is Calamity? And why is John Wick seeking vengeance? So this obviously is a prequel.
Right.
Says nothing about his poor dog or his wife or any of that stuff.
The artwork looks sick, though.
Yeah. Just because they killed his fucking dog.
They remind me of the Cyberpunk 2077 covers.
Yeah.
That type of art style.
It's got that noir feeling going on it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anytime you put pink on a comic book cover as a main color, I'm there.
I'm down to do this.
No wonder you like the Radiant Black first issue.
Yeah. We're not to that, though, so I'm not spoiling anything about what I think about that book.
Yeah, no, that's actually coming next week. It's episode 405 of the podcast, so you guys will be back next week, too.
Into the future.
That's right.
The past and the future.
That is kind of cool. We get to be in the future talking about now. We also get to be in the now talking about the future.
Yes. Doc Brown.
Anybody else feel like a Time Lord?
Great Scott.
Yeah, Great Scott. This is heavy. That's right. Oh, Lord.
404 error, comics not found.
What are you guys currently watching for TV shows?
God, what aren't we watching?
I am finishing up the Spawn miniseries. Well, the 3 seasons of the animated series on HBO Max currently.
I just finished Blacklist again for like the 3rd time.
Yeah. We got bored, so we put on the first season of South Park last night, so now we're at like season 3. Then there's her go-to Criminal Minds, which we've seen a dozen times.
I love that show so much.
The whole series is now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Oh, we haven't taken that dive yet. We've already got everything else. So
I'm on a 30-day free trial for it, and so far I'm mainly watching 2003 Turtles.
No, what did we start? I tried to do. So I got sucked in by Ghost Adventures Hotel Cecil. I knew I shouldn't have. I knew I shouldn't have gotten taken in by the premise, but I did. So we tried Discovery Plus, and while yes, there are plenty of good shows that are on there, none of them called. So after watching that issue, or not the issue, but watching that show, I got rid of Discovery Plus because everything else was on one of the other streaming services that we have.
It was on Hulu.
Yes. So I was like, well, what's the point of having this and paying more money when we don't need it? So that's why I'm like, Paramount Plus. What do you have that I want?
Yeah, you better.
They have a lot. Actually, they have. They have all the seasons of SEAL Team with David Boreanaz. They have CBS, BET, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickel. They have all the Real World, most of all the Real World seasons.
So if you're a WWE fan and you want to go back in time,
see The Miz.
The sad thing is I don't think they have his season, which makes me mad.
What kind of bullshit is that? How are you going to tote having Real World and not even have the Miz's season? What?
Right. Real World, let's see. Season 1. They have seasons 1 through 4, and then 12, which was what was his season? Was his season 9 or 10? Yeah, it was 9 or 10 or something. Yeah, they have seasons 1 to 4 of The Real World. They have season 12, season 15, season 16.
That's a hell of a leap.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, what happened on those seasons that are, like, gone?
Yeah, I remember.
Them not to be allowed to be on there?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird considering Paramount owns the thing or whatever.
Yeah,
You'd think that.
Season. It was the 10th season.
That's right. It was the 10th season. They were in Chicago, weren't they? Yeah, because the 9th season or the 8th season was Boston and then New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think. I don't remember. Anyway, they have Jackie Brown. So if anybody wants to watch Jackie Brown, there's that.
I would get it to watch Picard.
Yeah.
Just because I like Picard.
I mean, yeah.
Professor Picard.
Professor Picard.
Yes.
Lord. They have the good. I don't know about the good Star Trek movies. They have Generations, Nemesis, and The Voyage Home. At least they don't have The Final Frontier. They probably have more.
The picture.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of stuff on here that I need to go back and rewatch. Like a lot of these movies I haven't seen in years.
It's okay. I'm digging a 4-hour hole in my schedule on Thursday.
You mean
Snyder
Friday? Cut. Oh, Snyder Cut.
And in its completeness.
Yes.
Snyder Cut. Friday's where it's at, man.
All the reviews coming in are saying Snyder Cut. Hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, give me Snyder Cut. I want to see Martian Manhunter.
I just need to see the co-workers over at Marvel for Friday. So, Falcon Forever.
Well, I want to see that too.
Yep.
Love Division. That was amazing. Still need to get Kendra to watch it.
Yes, I have been a bad comic fan and haven't watched WandaVision.
Well, at least you won't be hopefully not spoiled on it, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, stop!" And oh my god, these like I know I have no attention span at times, but after one episode, people are like, "Oh, this sucks. This comedy, this sitcom stuff sucks," and I'm like, "Wait for it."
Dude, I grew up on that shit. That shit was great.
Yeah,
I watched I Love Lucy and all the shows, and I'm just like, this is cool as a bitch because I don't know what's going on.
Yup.
And then I was still wrong.
Yeah,
because shit happened. I'm not going to be a spoiler guy, at least not in this past, future tense.
well,
No.
Paramount Plus apparently also has the Smithsonian Network or something or other. And
I would get it for that.
That's cool.
And they have something on here, because I'm going through all the movies alphabetically, and they have something on here called Naked Mole Rats. I'm like, unless it's Rufus from Kim Possible, I don't care. That's right.
Power Rangers.
I know. I forget what hers sounds like. I used to have it as my ringtone, and I can't remember.
It's very similar. Oh, hey, the Phantom. Yay.
Billy Zane?
Yeah, like Billy Zane Phantom, or...
Yep, Purple Phantom from 96. Yep.
Holy shit. They got the Shadow.
Haven't.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I haven't got that far.
So Scott, they were still great at the time.
Yeah. Well, but that was because, comic book movies were still in their infancy. So anytime you got to see something, it was always cool.
Even Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider was good to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was Ghost Rider, he was awesome. When he was Nick Cage, he was Nick Cage.
All I gotta say is the history of swear words with Nick Cage on Netflix.
I haven't watched that.
That's interesting. I haven't watched all of it. I need to catch up, but yeah.
Well, I'm using the DC tab in HBO Max at the moment. I've been going through watching everything. I restarted the Batman animated series, not Taz, but the Batman.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I love that series so much. It was so good. I used to have it all on DVD. I was just like, yeah, I got the complete shit.
And that's the funny thing, like, and I know there's a lot of people out there that still love physical media, and I don't disrespect physical media or anything like that, but the switch is, especially with television and with movies, it's all gone streaming, and sometimes you can find stuff and sometimes you can't. Like you were saying earlier, Kendra, about you got to decide which app you want to pay for this month or whatever, or which ones you want to keep and which ones you don't want to keep and whatever. And I'm sitting here like, good Lord, just get rid of the cable package and we can have all the streaming apps and it would be cheaper.
So, fun story time.
Yay.
So, before I did or do the day job that I do now as a direct service provider and community living, I worked for Comcast.
Oh, boy.
Are
we going to get sued before you continue this story? Are we going to get sued?
No, not at all. I'm not going to say anything. I had a very pleasant time working for Comcast.
Okay.
However, one of the things that always struck me as really funny was when I was working for Comcast was the infancy of the streaming services. Mm-hmm. That was back when it was still just Netflix and Hulu, and they were at that point making their climb to as popular as they are now.
Right.
And it always struck me as funny that more people didn't go for the streaming services, because that was when people first started to talk about just dropping their cable packages and going with streaming services. Mostly because, one, you didn't have to deal with commercials, and two, everything was basically at your fingertips. You weren't waiting a week for another episode, because that was the point where Netflix was first starting to put out everything. Yeah. Like they would do, we're doing this season, and it would be an entire season. You weren't waiting episode.
Yeah.
We're looking at you, Mandalorian.
But it always strikes me it's funny now that people actually are doing that. And not only are they doing that, but more and more of the syndicated stations are actually just making their own services because they have the content to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Amazon has some great original content. I mean, The Boys was breakout hit this past year. I'm sure pandemic helped with that.
Lord knows it helped Joe Exotic.
Right. And now they've got the Invincible animated series, which is about to drop, and I'm giddy as a schoolboy for that.
Right.
Netflix has been doing it with Stranger Things and some of their other stuff. Like, what was the wrestling one that you and I watched?
Glow. I love Glow.
You know, Hulu was doing it too, like Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Stephen King's series, which got 2 seasons, and it was phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's doing it. Disney Plus. Oh my God.
CBS.
Yeah.
They have their own streaming service, and then
Well, that's Paramount
Discovery.
Plus now.
Yeah, Discovery Plus, and then the Paramount. But I love that. I love that these places are finally like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do our own streaming service. And it's funny because that was something that not just Comcast, but any of the cable providers, honestly, should have been paying a little bit better attention to, because this was the inevitability that they were going to realize
Cable's on the way out, yeah.
they could do their own thing, and now they are.
Yeah, I get into arguments all the time. Like, I'll post some information because I do still have Discovery Plus. I watch it for Joe Kenda, An American Detective, and Homicide Hunter. But it's one of those things where everybody is like, oh, like I'll post, oh, when American Detective was running its new episodes, they've since, finished the season. I'll post, hey, new episode today, and I'll post screenshots of the app and whatever else with it. Oh, why do we have to pay extra? Why isn't it just on Investigation Discovery Channel? I'm already paying too much for cable. I can't pay for one more thing. And in my post, I will have said something about, by the way, you can get a 7-day free trial to the thing, so you don't have to pay for it. As long as you cancel within those 7 days, you can go on there right now, watch the 10 episodes of the new show, which the new show was a Discovery Plus original. It would not have premiered on Investigation Discovery. It may sometime, people are saying in the spring or something or whatever, but it's one of those things where no one is understanding the fact of streaming services, and everybody needs to make a choice. Whether you want streaming, whether you want cable, if you make a choice and you choose for what you want to watch, that's great. However, just know what you're going to eventually give up for making that choice is you're no longer going to be able to watch something. And it's like, oh my God, I have to explain this every time. And I just stop posting because in that group on Facebook, because it's like, if y'all don't want the information, I'm not going to give you the damn information. I'm just trying to be helpful here. And they're like, oh my God, it's Discovery is just raking us over the coals. Oh my, I'm like, no, they're not. They're not forcing you to pay for the service. Now, I'm sitting here paying for the service because for me, I want ad-free content. I don't mind paying $7 a month for Discovery Plus. I don't mind paying $12 a month for Hulu. I think my Netflix plan went up to almost $16 at this point, but whatever.
Yeah, Netflix, what are you doing?
I know, right? I know, right?
Of the
I know,
and they're pulling.
Well, but I mean, if people want free stuff, like, let's be completely honest. One of the best ones that's there that I can think of off the top of my head is CW's app, and it's because you don't have to pay to watch their episodes. You just have to wait till a day after their episodes are premiered, and they provide that content to you free if you download the app.
Right, but the thing of it is the reason why it's free is because there are commercials on it. That's why it's free. The advertising that is in between, and sometimes those advertisements are 2 or 3 things per break, and it's like, oh my God, I just want to get back to the show. That's why
you know what though? If I'm willing to watch ads in order to watch a video on Facebook, then I'm willing to watch an ad to watch whatever it is that I'm wanting to watch on CW.
Here's my problem. I'm not willing to watch an ad on something I'm looking at on Facebook.
That's where we differ, sir.
I'm like, I start watching and it's like ad starting soon. Scroll on.
Well, I want to know the rest of the recipe or the rest of the cute videos, so I'm here.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's so... On one hand, yes, there's so many choices, but on some things, it's really cool. Like, I mean, when did having so many options really become a bad thing? I mean, for us, we have the physical library that we continue to add on to, and that's because occasionally we'll have blackouts, and if we don't have anything that we can watch that uses Wi-Fi, then we'll pick from our selection of what we have in physical.
Yep.
And that being said, if we don't find anything that we want on any of our streaming apps, I'll hop over to YouTube, and if there's nothing we want to watch on any of the channels for YouTube, you can actually buy movies and seasons on YouTube as well. I've got a couple movies I've bought over on YouTube that I can watch. So, I mean, I think it's cool that there's so many things that people can get into regardless of their likes or dislikes. I mean, there's something out there for you. You just got to find it.
Absolutely. I think we're in trouble. Paramount Plus has all 7 seasons of Melrose Place.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Throw me back to Dawson's Creek.
I don't think they have Dawson's Creek. Oh, wait, that's CW, isn't it? Yeah, because that was WB and WB. I don't know where Dawson's Creek is now.
Yeah, but CW's got Riverdale.
I love Riverdale.
I can't watch it after he died.
Oh, spoiler, Mike.
That's like the first episode.
I know.
He didn't die in the first.
If they've seen an episode, it's been spoiled already.
Dude, but that's what makes me so excited. Okay, so I know that there are some haters out there who don't like the way that these shows have gone. But I mean, I used to love Archie comics and the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I loved Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. And all of these are making a resurgence. I love the darker tone that they've all taken with the CW, and I also love the tones that they've taken in the actual comic world. I could not be more pleased.
Well, I wasn't a fan of the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch show.
I loved Melissa Joan Hart.
But I love the new one that's on Netflix. And I think they're being stupid by canceling it. But that's just my opinion. Shut up.
No one's telling you to shut up here.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, like hate mail from Netflix for talking about them being stupid and canceling shit.
Oh, please, dude. You have no idea. So this has been told on this network before, but I don't think it's been told on the Pull Bag. Steve Megatron, who is the co-creator of the GCRN, along with me, we got death threats over talking about Hulu instead of Netflix a number of years ago.
Wow.
Some weird somebody sent us through email death threats because we were promoting a different service we were watching stuff on a different service other than Netflix. And I'm like, really? Seriously? And this was like, you want to talk about back in the infancy. This was like 10, 11 years ago now. I'm
Holy
like,
cow.
Really? Seriously? Really? A death threat over which streaming service we're talking about? Come on.
Surprising.
The opinions that are included in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the general public. They are our opinions.
Yes, well,
Disclaimer.
It's my podcast, and I'll call people out if I want to. I don't even remember who the guy was. I don't even know if we still have the email. I don't even care. I'm just saying it happened, and it was the stupidest thing. Like, really, seriously?
First dollar bill, you had to print that bitch off and frame it.
First death threat.
Right?
2012. Spoke about Hulu instead of Netflix.
And now there's so much choice. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like pick your poison, and as long as your poison is the same as everybody else's poison, then everybody can get along. But if I'm subscribed to one, and Ed's subscribed to one, and Kendra subscribed to a different one, it's like, oh my God, we can't be friends anymore.
How dare you?
How dare you subscribe to Discovery Plus and not the...
You dishonor your family by not having...
Dishonor your cow.
Oh, God.
HBO Max is the way.
No, I mean, but that's the thing. I don't really care what anybody, for me personally, I don't really care what everybody else is using to watch it. I mean, I think it's cool that there's so much content out there that everybody can have a favorite show or a favorite movie and be able to enjoy that.
And then post about it on social media and then shoot people out that don't have the same opinion as them.
I don't care. I don't care enough to do that. I like hearing what other people are watching because then I can be like, okay, what you got?
Yeah.
And if we're all gonna be really, really freaking for real, the best damn streaming service is Funimation. So
yes. Because nobody else has a giant catalog of anime like that.
Exactly.
Where else can you watch all of
TP for my streaming?
Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super. And
Promised Neverland.
Heroes
Sells at work.
Heroes Academia. Fruits Baskets.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say something really controversial.
Oh, here it comes. Here comes the emotional break of our friendship.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules, all others drool. And when I say Yu-Gi-Oh!, I mean the 2000 series.
With who are you talking to, bro?
Welcome to the Shadow Realm.
What the fuck?
That's right.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
You don't want to touch my Dragon Destroyer deck. Or my Lightsworn deck.
Okay, you are saying deck, not... Okay, good. For a second there, I thought
my Lightsworn penis.
No.
We promised him he wasn't going to have to edit.
No. Edit what? I ain't editing. This ain't a comic review. This is a discussion. This is wholeheartedly right out there. I ain't editing shit on this podcast.
Look, I will absolutely. There's no need for the friendship to break up. There's no white flag being raised. We love Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're in that same realm.
Yes.
The Shadow.
It's so funny because, and I know voice actors do other things, but it's so weird. So I am currently, and the reason why I brought up Paramount Plus is because I just watched, I'm up to season 1, episode 12 or 13 of the 2003 TMNT cartoon. And it was the Garbage Man episode or something, or I don't know, whatever, anyway. Well, in this episode, the Turtles are helping some of the homeless people, and one of the people is this guy named the Professor. And I recognize the voice, and I'm like, Yami? Is that you? Like, I literally had to go to IMDb on my phone to make sure that it was Dan Green doing the voice of this character in this Turtles cartoon, because I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds a hell of a lot. Yep, it was Yugi.
I've done that with, I can't remember what it was. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was, but I did that with the guy who did the voice for Pegasus.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even remember what it was we were watching, but I was like, Kaiba boy? That's him. Yep. Where? Yay!
Yeah.
Pegasus was always one of my favorite characters.
Yet she rocks a Blue Eyes deck.
Yes, I do. I rock a Blue Eyes, not a Toon deck. But it's because Kaiba's my guy. So not Wheeler.
Let's face it, the only good card Joey ever got was Black Eyes Red Dragon, or Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Badass card in the right hands.
Yeah, it is.
Kendra has been smited by it a few times.
I have, and it has made me mad.
And then she comes back. Blue Eyes Ultimate Triple-Headed Go Fuck Yourself Dragon. I destroy all of your life points and your cards burst into flames. We were actually thinking about jumping into some professional duels for a while because we really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling.
Yeah.
We even had like dramatic music on pause so we could play it right after we did something in the card game.
Very cool, very cool.
That and Pokemon. I have a Pokemon deck too.
I never get into the actual card games. I get into some of the cartoons. I can safely say Digimon is the lowest one on the totem pole for me.
Hey, man.
Love Digimon.
Love Digimon.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Change into digital champions to save the digital world.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm not.
Nerd card.
Yeah, I never got into too much, and then I really didn't care because it was an ex's favorite thing, and I'm like, oh, you have an unhealthy obsession with these.
So yeah, you have.
Yeah. But
I didn't watch TV with any of my exes. I was too busy listening to music. So it's like, all right, we'll get rid of these bands. I don't need to listen to them anymore.
No, but I like the Pokemon card game. I like the Pokemon movies. I remember going into theater. I think it was back in either 94 or 95 to see the movie in theater and getting the specialty Mew card when you went to go see it.
I will say this, though. Our son is infinite more Pokemon than anyone I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, he's the Pokewedia.
Pokepedia.
It all sounds wrong, folks, whether you're smoking it or poking it.
No, but he is, man. He's a little encyclopedia when it comes to that. You can name anything, and he will tell you anything you could ever want to know about that Pokemon, including its shiny variations.
You'd be like, I saw this Pokemon in Pokemon Go. What it looked like? What color was it? And from that, he'll tell you its entire lineage.
Right.
There you go.
Well, there we go. Now we have a question for Mike. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Yep. There you go.
Oh, Lord. So much pressure.
Don't you dare say Pikachu.
He's gonna cop
So much pressure.
He's going to cop out on Pikachu.
Ryan Reynolds.
Really, bro? You broke out Detective Pikachu, the movie. Good God, man.
I mean, he's
I need some
Deadpool.
Deadpool
See, that's the thing. Like, I never got that close. I saw maybe 2 seasons of the original cartoon, and now it's like, oh, I'd like to try to go back and watch more of it. I don't know of any streaming service that has the original series, the original 90s animated series.
Oh, shit, I don't either.
I thought Netflix had a lot of it.
They have some, but it's not the original. I don't know. I like Squirtle. I like Charizard. The only reason why I like Jigglypuff is that really, really horrible Kids WB commercial with Batman.
I actually don't remember this commercial.
I'll send it to you off there. Yeah, Jigglypuff. It's really, really bad. They did not get Kevin Conroy or whomever voices Tim Drake to do it, because it was Tim Drake. It was during the new Batman, the new Batman adventure when Tim Drake came on the show, and
Black Batman costume.
Yes. It was just really, really, really bad, and it's just.
I'm gonna have to look it up on YouTube.
I'll send it to you after. I've got it somewhere in here.
Mine's Lucario.
Yours is what?
Lucario.
Okay. Yeah. Besides, yeah. No.
I will send you shots.
Okay, cool.
Charizard. So that's my favorite. And mine's actually kind of a touching tale why it was my favorite too. Because one of the first things my stepson ever gave me was a Charizard card. And he says that's my Pokemon. So that's been my Pokemon ever since.
Very cool.
And then he schools me on Pokemon every chance he gets.
Yeah.
So I bow to my son's knowledge on Pokemon. He does like my shiny Mewtwo, though. Even though it's green.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go and their damn green Pokemon.
I never got, I have zero desire to hang off of a ledge to try to find a rare Pokemon.
And then there's me.
Oh, no.
Not get into that, Kendra.
I'm a horrible. I get obsessive when it comes to video games, whether they're mobile or console. And I am a completionist, which makes it even worse. especially with games like Pokemon Go.
I've been playing Pokemon Go since the week of its release.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
She was started about a month later and has surpassed me in every way, shape, or form.
No, I mean, like, I don't know if you play COD or not, but
No,
for like COD Mobile, like literally him and one of our best friends started playing it before me, and then I got really competitive because that's me. And it has a level cap system at 150 levels, and it's supposed to take you a decent amount of time to do that. It took me a month.
Yeah, it took us both a month to reach max level, which we still are to this day.
Yeah. But sometimes you just feel like killing people, so.
Call of Duty Mobile. All of your devices now. Over 2 million downloads.
That and my gamer tag is Muy Grande Panga, which just gives me this evil little bit of glee, especially when I kill people. Because they get so mad, and then they realize I'm a girl.
Which makes it even better. Because they're instantly more pissed off.
What's the gamer tag?
Muy Grande Panga.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you said Topanga. I'm like, you leave Corey Matthews out of this. Don't make me send Mr. Feeney after you.
No, I got my gamer tag because when we were playing the console, and even when we started playing mobile together, I was the one who would just rush out with, no regard for my own safety or anybody else's safety so that I could kill people. So, even if we had a strategy, I was the Leroy Jenkins of the group and would just run in.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. That's funny. Yeah, I was not expecting to get into a Pokemon conversation because I like I said, I'm more of a
hopscotching.
We are, but that just was not one that I was expecting, and it's fine. It's not a bad thing. I'm like, I think about some of the stuff that all of my friends like that I'm just like, I said to somebody the other day, and they actually understood it because they're in the same boat as I am. Look, all as I got out of the Lord of the Rings was his 111st birthday. I was 14 when I read that damn book, and I'm like, I did some research in a dictionary or thesaurus or whatever the hell. It means he's turning 111, and I'm like, oh, God, really? I understand that's the language Tolkien was using, but I could never get past that, and I just never, like, after I finished that book, I'm like, I'm not reading the Two Towers. I don't care about the king. The only return is the Jedi. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin Smith, for that quote. The only return is of the Jedi and not of the king.
I'm a lover of all of it, though. I love the Tolkien universe. I love C.S. Lewis's versions when it comes to Narnia. I'm still sad that Disney never made it all the way through that series.
Yeah.
I'm more sad that Tron 3 will never happen, damn it.
Man. I just bro-pounded my chest on that one. Yeah. Legacy was awesome.
I mean, Legacy has its issues. I understand that, but...
It had a Daft Punk soundtrack. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Absolutely
You know
nothing.
what we're never going to have again?
A Daft Punk
soundtrack.
Exactly. So
I just cried a little.
Daft Punk breaking up is all Disney's fault.
Right?
But it's one of those things where I had, like, the original movie came out in 82. I was 2 years old at the time. I had never... oh, boy.
5th birthday.
Oh, Lord. Stop reminding me you're so much older than I am. Usually I'm the old one on these podcasts, damn it.
Well, but maybe you feel any better.
Now you're a bit younger.
Meanwhile, Kendra's over here at, 27 or something.
I'm 33. Thank you very much. That is probably the only time I'm going to be proud of being that old.
Hey, I was trying to make you younger, so,
I appreciate that very much.
But it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I never saw it. So I found it on YouTube, and then I eventually bought the first, the weekend it opened for Legacy. I was like, I guess I should watch the first one, and I watched the first one just to kind of get caught up with this, but I wasn't like invested in it. I'm like, ooh, this is really old technology, and this is like, oh my god. And then I look at the sequel, and I'm like, ooh, bright, shiny, and new. Yay!
Hold on now. I saw the original in theaters in 1982. My ass was in the backyard with a frisbee taped to my back, throwing a frisbee at a tree and shit, acting like I was fighting the mainframe. Had little action figures and everything. Flash forward 20 years later, and then they're like, Tron Legacy. And I'm like, I'm 5 years old again. Where's my frisbee? Let's do this.
Yeah, I can't stop. I search it out every now and then when I need a little bit of a Tron fix, but I can never stop watching Tron the Next Day, which was the feature on one of the DVD releases where they reveal that Ram is still alive and he's, an actual person in the real world, and how Alan was funding the whole thing the whole time with Flynn Lives. And I'm like, oh God, please bring us that third movie. And sadly, it's not going to happen.
Damn you, Disney. Damn you.
Yes.
Get a little off Star Wars for a minute. Do a fucking proper Tron sequel. I mean, keep the series you got coming out, but back up off the films.
Yeah. Those Star Wars reveals, holy crap. That's a lot of Star Wars.
The thing is I'm okay with it because sitting behind the desk calling all the damn shots on what's coming out is two dudes. And that's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And if Dave Filoni says it's good, my ass is going to park in front of the TV and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm absolutely right on board with it, but I'm just like, holy crap, there.
I know, I'm drooling. Chomping at the bit.
It's like,
I mean, we're going to get more Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Inner girl squealing right now with my twin white lightsabers.
Yes.
I mean, that is our home slice. We've got the action figure and the Funko Pops and everything.
God, I
just
hope
Bad Batch coming back. That's going to be awesome.
Not that Rosario would ever say anything or whatever on social media. I just hope nothing happens between her and Disney, because damn, that whole Gina Carano thing. Oh my God.
I mean, I feel bad for her, but at the same time, I keep my personal business off of social media.
True.
My personal beliefs are my personal beliefs. That's it. I don't feel a need to share them with the world.
Well, I can't say that.
Well, sometimes.
But, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to be in cahoots with Disney has one of the strictest, contracts that's out there. And that's one of the things, is that you cannot do anything that reflects poorly upon the House of Mouse.
Yep.
The House of Mouse will damn you to eternity if you do. Good Lord.
But you know what? Good luck to her in her following career. But I mean, that leaves a huge hole that everybody's wanting Lucy Lawless to fill.
Oh Lord, really? Don't recast the character. That would be ridiculous.
Let her die.
Let her die out. I'd at least do it justice in some way.
And let her actually die out. Don't pull a CW Batwoman where there's all these hints that Batwoman might be coming back. Just let her die. Let her die.
I still have not,
I just figured out the perfect way for them to do it.
Okay.
All right. Start of the Ahsoka series. We already know what she's doing in it. She's looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, my favorite character ever. He attacks the base as a show of dominance in the system to try and call out the Mandalorian and his ilk. And legitimately just nukes it from orbit. Kind of, Rogue One style. And
interesting.
Then later on the Mandalorian show, you have a scene with Greef Karga, and Mando, and he's like, did you hear? This happened. The whole entire planet was destroyed, and, she didn't get out. She was trying to get the rest of the people out, and she died with them.
There you go. Let her die a hero.
I mean, right there, that would just do the character honor, and
it's done.
Yeah, and then you could have your grief, grief-stricken Mando, like, fuck, I wasn't there. I could have helped, and got blown up too, And then you have more motivation because Mando tells Ahsoka what happened, and Gina Carano's character is dead, and there you go. I just gave you a whole plot for, like, crossing over in the shows, Disney. Where's my royalty check?
Yeah. In order for us to pay you this royalty check, you must sell us your soul.
Done. I want some of that Star Wars money. I'll take a couple million a year just to, come up with cool plot lines for a TV show. Talk shit with Dave Filoni for hours on end.
That would be cool. And that's one thing I love about Disney Plus is even though some of the stuff on there is like what we've already seen, but the Star Wars gallery, the behind the scenes of Mando,
yeah,
I love watching all of those episodes. I love watching the Marvel Legends series where they currently have 4 episodes, one for Vision, one for Wanda, one for Falcon, and one for Bucky. And it's basically just, it's like, okay, so if you don't want to watch all 22 films, here's what you really need to know about each of these characters, why they are where they are currently, or why they, what'd you say?
Marvel Cliff Notes.
You basically, yeah.
You're like, oh, you're getting ready to watch this brand new series that's debuting on this day on Disney Plus? Here you go. Here's what you need to know about the main 2 characters in both things. I actually did watch the first 2 Legends, and I was like, that's really cool. They were showing comic panels and stuff like that, too. So.
I just watched and I just shared the Co-Workers teaser trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's
nice.
Very, very interesting, very cool. I just think it's ever since they had, will you move your seat up? No. Ever since that scene, it's like it's animosity between Sam and Bucky, and it's just
shades of Lethal Weapon, bro.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson going at it again, but this time it's
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right.
Bucky and Falcon going at it. I'm just like, all right, I'm down. What do you got? It should be at least interesting. And Zemo is a villain with almost full Zemo-ness.
Yep.
And I'm down because he was massively underplayed in Civil War.
Yeah. So. And again, I think it's because, and hey, look at us, folks. We're talking about comic book movies. It's not technically comic books, but it's comic book related. But it's one of those things where some of these movies are so jam-packed. How are you going to fit everything in faithfully? Okay, let's have a TV series where it's specified or it's focused on one thing or another thing. And, oh, man, Civil War.
I know what they're doing so far.
Yeah.
I mean, WandaVision as a whole is awesome, and it's a great setup for the multiverse trilogy that they're talking about with this and the next Spider-Man, and then, of course, Doctor Strange, too.
Yep.
But
Spider-Man 3 is back, folks. Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm down for that because I like the last 2 Spider-Man flicks.
Yep. I've seen Homecoming. I haven't seen Far From Home yet because, again, it's not on, like, you'd think Disney Plus would be able to grab that, but I think it's still on the Stars app or something. Some contract they have with some. That was the thing with Disney Plus when they're like, "Oh, hey, we'll have these, but we have to wait until the contracts are up." Like, I remember initially looking on there, I'm like, "Ooh, Mighty Ducks! You have the animated series, which was amazing, amazing. Love that animated series." But like, you only have the first movie, and we have to wait until. And this is so weird. D2 was coming out, was going to be on the service a week after D3 was. And I'm like, wait, what? How the hell does that work? But thankfully, all of the Mighty Ducks stuff is now on Disney Plus. And hey, they got the new show coming with Game Changers. where
I
you
actually
have
think that we watched those as they came out too, because the day that Disney Plus dropped, we sat in the bedroom for like 45 minutes just adding shit to our watch list.
That's one thing Disney Plus needs to work on in whatever future updates they have. The watch list or the whatever it is, like if you add too much, it cuts off, and you have to take stuff away to show that you added up every time, whether it's on the app or whether it's on the website. I'm on the website right now, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 10 rows of things of 4, but it stops at X-Men the Animated Series when I know I've added other things. So if I remove something, something else will show up. I added before.
Sorry, you said X-Men the Animated Series, so both her and I had to break out in the theme song.
Yeah, it's not Christmas anymore, so I'm gonna remove the Santa Claus.
Aww.
Remove the
copy of that, so I'm not worried about it.
the Santa Claus 2, remove the Santa Claus 3. Now let's see what my watch list does. Starts with Marvel Studios Assembled and ends with Spider-Man the Animated Series, The Sword in the Stone, and 10 Things I Hate About You. So I just took 3 things off, and it's now showing me 3 more things that is still on my list, but it only shows up for, they don't have a whole... Ooh, the Rocketeer.
They don't have the comprehensive list.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I want to know what I want to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all the stuff that I added is there. It's not that I didn't add it. It's just apparently that the actual watch list tab or the watch list page will only show you X number of... And I do not see anything. Ooh, dinosaurs. Not the mama. Yeah.
Not the mama. Not the mama.
That's right. But anyway, yeah. Disney Plus. Gotta love it. What's next, folks?
I'm holding my pit bull, who thinks that she's a lap dog, but she's not a lap dog.
She wanted to join in on the conversation with not the mama.
You said not the mama, so she started licking me in the face.
You know what I haven't started yet, and I feel bad for it? I need to get back to Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, I just finished it. Oh, oh my God.
Last time Kendra and I watched Thundercats, we came up with a drinking game.
Wait. Which Thundercats? 2011 or original Thundercats?
OG.
Okay.
We had rules, and there was only like 4 rules.
Okay.
Anytime he said Thundercats ho, take a shot. Anytime they reuse animation from a previous scene in another episode or from the opening credits, you have to take a shot. I forget what, and snarf. If he says snarf, take a shot.
God,
there was one episode alone.
Yeah.
There was one episode alone that her and I would have had to take 40 some odd shots apiece. And we were like, all right, that's
death.
Yeah, that's alcoholic coma right there. So it's probably not the best drinking game for this show.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, the best Thundercats thing I've seen since the original series was the comic that was released. The trade was released July 11th of 2017. He-Man Thundercats from DC, written by Rob David and Lloyd Goldfine, with art by Freddie E. Williams II. This is like, oh my God, it's so cool.
Actually, kind of want to read that now.
Yep.
Probably on the DC.
It might be on the DC app. I am not sure. I'm trying to see if it's on.
Well, I know they just got done with. What was the one that you just read? Something versus Masters of the Universe.
Injustice.
Injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rando for me for review.
Yeah, but it was cool.
It was cool, but I was like, what is this?
What have I stumbled upon to?
Yeah, it's some of the
going on with my childhood.
Yeah, some of the crossovers that they've done are a little weird. Some of them make sense though. Like Superman and He-Man meeting up, I can see. Thundercats and He-Man meeting up, Turtles and Power Rangers. I
Hey
can
man,
see.
they did Turtles and Batman, so
Yeah,
Yep, they did it 3 times actually. That was a trilogy.
while I haven't read it myself, I heard it got rave reviews.
Oh yeah,
I think one of the only crossovers that I've been a part of that has struck me as odd was when they did the Looney Tunes
Oh yeah,
with DC, where they kind of synced up all the different characters with different members
Like
of the
the-
DCU. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that was a little strange.
actually, my favorite crossover of all times, Amalgam Comics,
Yeah.
when DC and Marvel merged for the story, the story, and then gave us like one-offs of all these cool-ass characters. That was the greatest crossover in history to me.
I liked Marvel versus DC.
You mean
No,
DC versus Marvel?
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, they did it twice, and it was amazing. I saw somebody on Facebook the other day posted the cover for the Dark Claw issue,
Yeah.
and I was just like, dude, hold on. Pulled up an image of Speed Demon.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites from it. I had to put that in there too. I was like, oh, no, here's another good one. Screw you. Dark Claw was amazing, but here's another good one. It's the Flash and Etrigan. And Ghost Rider. Do it! It's alright. Fucking, I'm on. Let's go.
Rise the Demon Etrigan.
Dude,
Oh
he's
my
so
God.
good. I love
How
him.
is the trade for Bruce Wayne Murderer 610 pages? Oh my God. Oh,
Oh, that was a big story.
yeah, it was.
I actually have the trade in the bedroom of that. And the Bruce Wayne Fugitive follow-ups.
Yep. Bruce Wayne Fugitive. Bruce Wayne Murderer. Let's see. Wow, there's how many of these are there? Holy crap.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 trades.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne The Road Home. And then
No, Bruce Wayne's Road Home is him coming back to life after Final Crisis.
Oh. Yeah.
Which was amazing because it was Grant Morrison and you got Pirate Batman.
Gotham.
No, he was fucking Blackbeard.
It's awesome.
I'm just like, Bruce, you're awesome, bro. Damn. How can you be any cooler? I'm Blackbeard. Thank you. You just made it cooler. All right, let's do this.
You know what I want to get back into? I want to get back into American Gods, but I feel like I'm a traitor if I do.
Why do you feel like you're a traitor if you do?
Well, because the first 2 seasons of that with Orlando Jones being, I'm going to butcher this name, Ananazi, were brilliant. And then the whole thing happened where the studio was like, you're giving an image of the show that we're not wanting in. And I'm like, dude, Neil Gaiman loves him.
It's his character.
That's how he wrote him. Why are you, what?
You're too angry. It's the whole point.
Right? Like, that's how he's supposed to be. That's his voice. Let him have it. And then I keep seeing, like, on Facebook, they keep spamming me, like, to death with the Stars membership for $5.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest ones that they're pushing with it, is that they've got the new season of American Gods coming. And it looks stunning. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm just like, damn it. I wanted to watch you, but there's no Gillian Anderson anymore, and there's no Orlando Jones.
Boo.
So those are 2 strikes already against you.
Gillian Anderson was like, I'm done. And then I read that, and I was like,
damn it.
Fuck.
Well, because that goes back to what you were saying about I Love Lucy. There's this, I don't know if you've watched American Gods or not.
I haven't.
Gillian has a scene where she does Lucy. And it's brilliant.
You have to double take.
It's gorgeous.
You literally have to double take because she legitimately looks just like her.
Yeah, she looks just like Lucille Ball, and it's a little scary.
But it was so perfect. And she acted like her and spoke like her and everything. It was genius.
Yeah, the best I Love Lucy parody I've ever seen or ever heard or ever whatever is, and say what you will about the man now, but back in the 90s, as Clark Kent, I still liked and enjoyed what Dean Cain did. But in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, there's an episode where they do an I Love Lucy parody where obviously she's Lucy and he's Ricky, and it is the single greatest thing. Like, oh god, I love that.
You got some splaining to do.
Yeah, Lois, you got some splaining to do.
I won't give you any grief for that. That's the thing. Like, everybody's entitled to like what they like. If you like it, you like it. I enjoyed Smallville in its entirety.
I was about to say there wasn't really, other than Christopher Reeves, there was never a Superman for me growing up that I could latch on to as a visual. You know what I'm saying? Real life visual until Tom Welling came along in Smallville.
I loved Smallville.
I watched most of that goddamn show. I got the song stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that ain't streaming anywhere. So I ain't got to start watching that. Yeah.
It is actually. It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu, I'm pretty sure.
Mike's like, I got you.
Yep.
You know what, though? I think my favorite iteration of Superman is going to be, like, non-DC. And here's why. So there's a movie called Hollywoodland.
Oh.
Yep.
And it has Affleck playing Soups. Was it George Reeves? Is that who was the original Soups?
Yeah.
It shows him playing Superman when they're first starting to put out that title, and I love what he did with it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Ben Affleck's the only actor to play both Superman and Batman.
This is also true.
And we're not going to bring up Daredevil, but still.
Hey, knock it off. Once you go blind as a bat, you never go back.
Okay.
It's really funny that you can say blind as a bat and see him both as Daredevil and Batman.
That's right.
Here's the thing. I was one of the biggest naysayers about, Affleck stepping into the role of the Cape and Cowl.
Uh-huh.
Then I saw Batman v Superman, and I'm one of the people that liked the movie, especially the extended ultimate, Zack Snyder jizzed on it cut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when it's that, it's perfect, and his Bruce Wayne is incredible, and his Batman is really damn good too. So A+ to him, and still to this day I love Henry Cavill's Superman. Man of Steel was awesome. Where's
Tyler Hoechlin does so much of a better job.
Oh, the new guy on the new show. I haven't watched it, but I've heard nothing.
It's so good.
We got really burned out on CW superhero shows with Arrow and Flash.
I did too.
Arrow was like, I want to be Batman, but I'm not cool enough to be Batman. So I'm just stealing all villains.
I did too, but I stuck it out and I finished Arrow and I've kept up with Flash, and Flash has been good and it's been interesting, but...
So how many seasons in a row has he fucked up the timeline?
Almost every single one of them, but that's beside the point. It's just what's more interesting is how's he going to fuck up the timeline now?
You know what, though, we talk shit, but I'm actually grateful for what the CW has done, especially with Stargirl, because now we're getting into JSA, and that is where my home is.
Well, Stargirl was actually meant to be one of the DCU apps.
Yeah, I know.
One of their streaming thing. Just like Teen Titans and Doom Patrol. And, oh my God, both of those shows are absolutely fucking amazing.
I agree.
We own the first season of Titans just because I could pick it up on Black Friday for like $3. But, oh my God, Doom Patrol?
Yes.
Who would have thought Doom Patrol would be such an amazing fucking show?
Here we got to interview April Bowlby, and she is, I don't even know if I pronounced her last name wrong. I'm sorry, April. But she is the biggest freaking sweetheart. And she makes the show worth watching. Her and the rest of the cast. It's freaking beautiful. Especially Ben Fraser.
I've actually got the theme song set as my notification sound on my phone. It's just so good. It's haunting and beautiful at the same time. Just like, wow, y'all did that with like nothing. Just some tune.
Awesomeness.
Great job. Thank you. You just set the whole stage for the show for me. Now I'm ready to go.
Dude, I'm back in my childhood in my head. I want to go back and watch like Ninja Turtles 2 and
Secrets of the Ooze.
Secrets of the Ooze. What was it? The third one when they went back to feudal Japan?
Yeah.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. Yes, I want to watch that.
Technically, it's not called Turtles in Time. It's just called Turtles 3, but technically that's what it is.
Well, that's my bad. That was the video game.
That was the video game. And you had to circle around to this, didn't you?
You're welcome.
So yeah. Thank you. So here inside the Pull Bag, we love TMNT. We love IDW TMNT. No disrespect to any of the other stuff. No disrespect to Kevin and Peter and all that and everything they created back in the day. But IDW TMNT that started in 2011 or 2012. Joe and I love that. We got to get back to that. Actually, all of August this year is going to be TMNT month here inside the Pull Bag. However, I have recently found an artist who actually has worked on some of the IDW stuff. I'm going to butcher the hell out of his name, so I'm not even going to say it. It's basically Camillo Art. You can find
Renato
pretty much.
Camillo?
Huh?
Love Renato.
Renato Camillo?
No.
Oh.
This is somebody else. But
we know him.
We like
yeah.
He's a friend of ours.
So this guy, he did he did Turtles Through the Ages, where he's done these prints where it's like every version of the Turtles that exists, from Mirage to movies to tunes to this. He's done all 4 Turtles. He's currently working on doing Shredder Through the Ages.
Nice.
So yeah, but anyway, he collaborated with somebody else to do this Turtles in Time homage to the character select screen. And I saw this thing and I'm like, I need that.
Well, I know you saw the thing circling around for the new 16-bit game that's getting ready to come out.
Yeah, that's that's based on the 87 series. Yeah, this is an art print that his name is Camillo di Pierantonio. I'm probably butchering your name, Camillo, artist. I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm not trying to butcher your name, but I want to eventually get him on an interview for this show or just the network in general. But he and another different with at QuickDraw13 on Instagram. Select Your Turtle recreation is up on my store, available as print right now. And I'm like, ooh, I have $40 in my PayPal account, and this dude's in Australia, so you got to deal with conversions and whatever else. And I told Karen, I said, look, it's not often that I want art prints. It's not often that since my mom died 6 years ago, I think I've bought maybe 3 different art prints in 6 years. And I'm like, I usually go after Funko Pops, not art prints. And I'm like, I got $40 in PayPal. I only need 20 more to get this thing. So she's like, just go ahead and get it and enjoy it. And happy belated birthday, happy early Christmas, happy whatever. So I'm getting this art print, and it's so friggin' cool. It's just like,
I want glamour shots on Facebook when you get it.
Yes.
I think that's the problem with Facebook is I post way too much, and I'm trying actually not to post as much as I usually do, but just I see stuff and it's like, hey, this will be released after this. We're actually recording this on 3/14, so National Pie Day, and I'm like, hey, here's turtle pie, here's this pie, here's that pie, here's cough like Batman, so cover your mouth, you idiots, unless you're going to wear a mask.
I like that.
Yes.
Because it was cough like Batman.
Exactly. It's cough like Batman. the Underquaker. So there's that. So Undertaker, Quaker Oats. God, I got to scroll through. One of the stores up in, I assume they're in Massachusetts, but they're called chowdaheads.com. Kiss me, I'm vaccinated. Tea of the week. So there's that. Here it is. Let's see. Camillo art. Photo. Where's his photos? See all photos. See, folks, no editing, folks. No editing. No.
This is just a genuine conversation.
Exactly. Here's the collab piece me and Jamie Johnson illustration did together with Daniel Chavez on colors. It's a recreation of the Select Your Turtle screen from the OG Turtles in Time game. This is going to be available as an awesome polypropylene print at OZ Comic-Con Sydney this weekend. So this was back in February. So Camillo did Donnie and Raph, and Jamie did Leo and Mikey, and it is just amazing. And I cannot wait to actually have this thing because it looks so good. It's it's printed on. It's printed on this really, really high quality paper, but the way it looks, because it's a black background. I'm like, hey, that's Batman TMNT paper. That's BTAS paper because it's a black background.
Specialty variant. I bought the new TMT.
Oh, the last Ronin cover.
Oh. So, I went to my local comic book store and perused, because that's what I do.
Right.
Because I never feel like my pull bag has enough. My pull folder has enough in it.
Right.
So I saw that they had the Last Ronin set.
Right.
And not only did they have the Last Ronin set, but they had the like really rare variant for issue 2. So I snagged that.
Snagged all 3 of them.
I snagged all of it.
I've actually read that, the Last Ronin, because it's one of the first things I read after getting out of the hospital, and that was really good so far. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. No. It's gonna be absolutely interesting.
We were in a Turtles conversation. I was adding to the Turtles.
Yeah, that was the gist of the Turtles at the moment.
I'm telling you, man, if you start at the beginning with Volume 1 of the IDW series, you're going to love it. It basically, if you've ever been a TMNT fan, this thing touches every corner of that universe in so many different ways. I was so...
It's a bad boy.
Do what?
When the OG TMNT toys started coming out, I had to have them all. And
of course.
That included me pickpocketing a couple of them.
Shame.
Yes, shame on me.
For shame.
I was bad, but I didn't have the money to buy the open shell Donatello with his, like, detective gear that could hide inside of it, the trench coat and the hat and sunglasses. Yep. I didn't have the money to buy him, as well as the other one, which was like Leonardo in the same way, or a similar way. And I had to have both of them. Well, I got busted for stealing that Donatello, so...
Oh, no! Ladies and gentlemen, we have our second toy thief in the GCRN.
I was 12. I was 12 years old, and since then I only buy my figures. And pose them all over the house. Much to the annoyance of my wife.
I joke honestly, because there's a co-host that we have that I've been recording with for years. We're currently doing the Phineas and Ferb review show, the podcast organization without a cool acronym, Michael Wilson. Back when I first met him, like I said, almost a decade ago now, and he's slightly older than all of us, slightly. He's like, oh yeah, I went into Target and these Transformers toys were supposed to be there, but they weren't. So I just went in the back to see if I could find them. And I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. That's not how this works.
See, I've actually thought about doing that at our local Walmart because they never restock their toy section. And if they do, it's all the shit that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
I go in the door looking for specific things.
Yep.
And our local Walmart legitimately hasn't restocked their shelves in over a month for these specific things. And I'm looking at Todd McFarlane and his awesome DC Multiverse figures, which I have a bajillion of. And no thanks in part to that was to Walmart.
No.
Actually, I take that back. I got 3 of them from Walmart. Everything else online or elsewhere.
Like, honestly, as long as they're not store exclusives, if I'm ordering, which I Funko Pop is the extension of my collection at this point. But it's like when I was like back in 2011 and 2012, when I was ordering stuff, it's like I'll just pre-order it on BBTS and just wait. Like, I don't have the compulsion to, oh my God, I need it today. I need to stress myself out and find it before it's gone. As long as it's a pre-order, and if I have to wait a few extra months, hey, at least I know I'm getting it. And
right.
At least the good thing with BBTS is you can do pile of loot and you can get everything all at once.
Dude, speaking of pre-order, so I put this little mini rant up on Facebook yesterday because I went up to GameStop with my daughter.
Yes.
And her the Melina Funko Pop, the brand GameStop exclusive, because Mortal Kombat is my daughter's jam. She loves it. She loves the story, the characters, everything, and she will whoop your ass online because she's just damn good. But we went up there, they didn't have it, and the guy was really condescending and acted like I was 5 years old.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, so I can't pre-order it. And he was like, no, you can't pre-order it at all. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Good, you don't get my money.
Have a nice day. I put down the Funko Pop I had in my hand for my son, and we both walked out the door. I sat in the truck, literally across from the store, and pre-ordered the damn Funko Pop online for my daughter.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch, you ain't gonna make my daughter upset and be an asshole to me and her not get that damn Funko Pop.
Yep.
So, fuck GameStop. You can come at me on social media. Go for it. I don't care. Because GameStop is price gouging and their customer service is shit. So, I'm good. Thank you.
You run into certain people like that. Every GameStop I've been in, it's always been cordial. But
I had a buddy ours until they started like marking their prices up like $10 to $15 for a figure that was like $20 to begin with. They're asking $35. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're good for some things. I mean, I've gotten a lot of stuff that we have on because I love clearances and I love sales. That's my favorite word in the whole universe. But I mean, we've gotten some of our collection from GameStop because they've put it on clearance, and I'm just like, but why?
Oh, you have a beautiful Harley Quinn statue for $12.
Mine.
Thank you very much.
But
yeah,
I understand. I understand the pre-order. I understand not, because when we were in the heyday of our Funko. Oh, shoe dog. I mean,
shoe buddy.
We were looking everywhere because at that point you had everybody and their mom would have their own exclusive line where you could only get that Funko Pop and that version of that Funko Pop if you shopped at any of the retailers. Like Hot Topic has their own exclusives. FYE has their own exclusives. Target has theirs. And it was just a pain in the butt trying to figure out who had what and where. And I was just like, you know what? I'm over y'all. And then I go on Hot Topic and see they've got a flocked Clifford the Big Red Dog. And I kind of lost my battle.
Well, that and they've got the Hellbat Funko Pop, which I want to match with my Hellbat.
Yeah.
McFarlane figure.
But Funko blew up, man.
Yes,
Funko
it did.
is the collectible item of like the last decade, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And they get me because I'm just like, oh, it's only $10. That's not that much. I've wasted $10 on less. And then I look at the collection and I'm like, okay, well, $10 went a long way.
500 some odd Pokemon. 500 some odd Funko Pops later.
Kind of feel stupid.
Yeah,
not really.
You know what? It's one of those things where people can say, "Oh, they just have soulless black eyes and this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else." Look, Funko Pop specifically is basically a better version of what Mighty Mugs used to be.
Yes,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, how are you ever going to get a action figure of, okay, perfect example right now, because I found it at Walmart, Cavity Sam from Operation.
Nice.
There is no there were no other than the Operation game itself. There were no collectibles for Operation back in the day. You know, you look at National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We have.
Dude, I have the 2-pack.
Yeah, I don't have the 2-pack. I have the 2 singles, and I have the. It was for Christmas this year. I got the out of all the times, Karen. I'm the one that usually goes into the store and does the shopping, and she sits in the car. Because if anyone's catching COVID over here, it's probably going to be me. I'd rather it be me than be her. But it's one of those things where the one time she goes into the store and I don't, she finds the Walmart exclusive Clark Griswold in-station wagon. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, it's $25. Do you want it? I'm like, I don't know. Can we afford it? And she's like, yeah, it's Christmas, so what? Whatever. But that's my point, though. Like, it's when Funko does stuff like go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, when Funko does stuff like Clark in the station wagon, like, there was never a toy of that. There was, like.
I got the we're gonna need a bigger boat from Jaws. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay.
Different ones, though.
I do.
You've got
Jaws is my jam.
You got the smile son of a bitch Jaws with the tank in his mouth, and then you've got him chewing on Quint.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, because everybody wants to chew on Quint. I mean, that shark still looked fake, but the blood was real.
Right. And I'm being stared at by my 18-inch Batman Funko Pop across the room, too. So.
Oh, Lord, you have... Like, I know you're a Batman fan, Ed, but I cannot believe...
I didn't pay for this. My brother-in-law and sister actually bought it for me for Christmas about a year ago. They bought 2 of them because he wanted one, too, because he's a pop nerd. He got his pop nerdiness from me and Kendra.
Right. Yeah, we started... I started this, and I did not know where it was going.
Start the fire.
But yeah, it went places because now I've got not only my brother and sister doing it, but now I've got a buddy of ours who she started out with Freddie Mercury, and now she's like, oh, look at all this shit.
Well, there's our, Mary and her obsessive love of all things.
Yeah, she's got
Jack Skellington, Harry Potter, and now the child from Mandalorian.
Yes. But, I mean, that's the cool thing about Funko. I mean, it doesn't matter what your fandom is. They have something there for you.
Yeah.
Even if your stuff is like, the old school, what are they? Like the Kool-Aid Man and the Coca-Cola Bear.
The ad icons.
Yeah, the ad icons.
The ad icons. Oh, yeah.
Stuff is cool as hell.
Big Boy. Yep. I mean, those... Sean gets all those. I mean, he has the big collection of those. But our son collects the Pokemon ones and the Five Nights at Freddy's line.
I love Five Nights at Freddy's.
My Hero ones as well. Our daughter collects the Mortal Kombat ones.
And RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, she's got all the RuPaul Drag Race Funko Pops. Kendra and I collect a lot of Funko.
Yeah.
There's the anime selection, which is...
ranges from everything. We've got Full Metal Alchemist to Inuyasha.
To Fruits Baskets to Dragon Ball Z. Punch Man and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, we have Yu-Gi-Oh!
I need to get those. I've been wanting to get those.
We don't have Dark Magician. We don't have the new line with Joey and Pegasus and
Wheeler.
And Red Eyes Black Dragon and fucking Exodia and
I want Exodia.
And I want all like the God cards. I want all of them because those were awesome to play with and see in the show. So, but we haven't gotten that line yet. But we got the first part of it, minus Dark Magician.
Yeah, but I mean, they're expanding themselves, and I love it. I love seeing stuff that I loved as a kid coming back and being popular because I love that the new generation gets to see these things that brought.
Oh, that was like me realizing the day they made a Darth Revan Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I mean, KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, is arguably the greatest Star Wars video game of all times, and this was at a point before social media and before the internet, and then now you got Funko Pops of them, and it's as a fan, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, did you guys know that there is a Funko comic?
Yes. Yes, I did. I did know that.
There's actually like 2 mobile apps as well.
Yeah, the main one is the better one of the 2, though.
I want Funko to start listening to me on the Funkos that we need to put out, and they also need to team up with Nintendo.
Oh, they've been after that Nintendo license forever.
Yes, they have.
They got a little bit of it with Pokemon, and that blew up huge because everybody wants collectible plastic figurines of the things they love the most.
Yeah, but let's not be liars. So that was the one time we switched off with Funko was when Super Smash Bros. Started doing all the figurines that you could put onto your Switch.
The amiibos.
We
have so many amiibos.
The only thing I think we didn't jump on was Skylanders. Because that just never called to me.
Yeah. That was based off the Spyro games, but...
I love Spyro, don't get me wrong. But I never jumped on Skylanders.
I didn't either.
It was just way too much stuff.
We liked the figurines for the Disney Infinity, but we didn't even really want to play the game too much.
Well, that and Disney Infinity, like, it didn't even... When we first got into it was when it was coming to its close. So, like, within months of its close. Yeah. So we went and got everything that we would need to play. And then suddenly it's like, cool yeah.
Oh, they're not going to do it anymore.
We're not doing that. Oh.
Oh, so this is worthless?
Awesome.
Thanks. We just got into it like 20 minutes ago. Like, literally.
Jeez.
We bought all the stuff. We bought a bunch of figures. And like 3 days later was the announcement they were closing the Disney Infinity thing. And I was like,
well, shit.
Fuck. What the hell? What do we do? You thought it was cool. You had Star Wars figures when I didn't have Star Wars figures.
Sorry, we just went on a whole little collector's rant there for a sec.
You know what? It happens. Where the hell did that? Okay, now I'm getting mad.
Why?
So I'm looking for the Funko thing because I know I have it, the Funko comic, and I'm like, it's not on Comixology anymore. And I'm like, I know I had it. Damn it! Where did it go? Yeah, I cannot. Disappeared. Yeah, like seriously, and it was from IDW too. And it's like, what the hell? Anyway. What else do we want to talk about before we probably get 404'd again?
I was going to say, we got 404'd a long time ago in this.
Right?
True.
Error. Danger, Will Robinson.
Excellent.
I know there was more than 4 of those. So there was Judge Dredd, there was X-Files, Turtles, and Rocketeer. I don't remember Rocketeer being in there, but... I know there was other ones besides Judge Dredd, X-Files, and Turtles because my buddy and I did an episode on them.
Yeah.
I don't understand this thing.
I'm going to need them to, like, either give me a sequel to that Dredd movie or do the spin-off TV show that they were talking about, Mega City 1. Because that movie was awesome. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, sadly.
Well, we got the Snyder Cut, so...
We got the Snyder Cut because people bitched about it.
Yeah, well, I'm bitching about it, so come on. I need some people to add to my voice. Let's do this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the old Judge Dredd, Sly Stallone flick. I am the law, but the newer movie was epic shit and is rightfully deserving of a sequel or spin-off show with all the money streaming services have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it's like, oh boy, here we go again. Let's, because look, like, did they really cave to pressure, or were they going to release Snyder all along? Because honestly, I have zero interest in Justice League. Whether it's Whedon or Snyder, I have zero interest. Will I see it eventually? Most likely, but like, I don't care right now to watch Justice League because honestly, they should have never gave him a vocoder. They should have just let him be Boston Ben Affleck and have Batman with a Boston accent.
Hey, man. Zack Snyder did some good shit, man. 300 was amazing. So was Watchmen.
I don't know. I mean, when it comes to the Zack Snyder cut, I don't know if it was necessarily caving to pressure, but one thing that I am glad about that's come from this is that a creator stood up for themselves and was successful in doing so.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm just saying in the beginning of the whole thing, before that happened,
right.
Everybody and their uncle was, oh my God, the Snyder cut. We need it. And I'm like, really? Seriously? You really want a 4-hour version of a 2-hour crappy movie?
Well, no, because the 2-hour crappy movie was brought to you by Joss Whedon.
I mean, let's face it, after Angel, he peaked. But anyway, that's just my personal...
First Avengers was great. I'll still say it to this day.
Okay, all right, yes.
But Age of Ultron was kind of lacking in my opinion. And
I don't know, man. I kind of agree with Mike because back when he was doing Angel and Buffy and Dollhouse, did he do Dark Angel? I can't remember whether he did or not. I know
that was James Cameron.
Was it?
Yeah,
that was Cameron.
Because I love that show. But I mean, back when he was doing all those, he really couldn't do any wrong. And I agree. I mean, that was kind of...
Then Disney threw stupid money at him.
That was kind of the last time that I found his work interesting.
And the sad thing is, again, you have to separate creator from creation because apparently all the shit that happened on set back at Buffy and Angel.
Right.
Charisma Carpenter came out recently and basically told her whole story of what all the bullshit that went on that set and stuff. And I'm like, Oh my God. But here's the thing, okay? And I've said this before on this network, and we don't talk about it often, and we're not going to talk about it often, but okay.
Right.
Bill Cosby himself, the person, is a monster.
Correct.
I can put that over here in this column, and I can still enjoy everything Felicia Rashad, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Tempest Bledsoe, Keisha Knight Pulliam, everything anybody did on The Cosby Show. I can still enjoy The Cosby Show and still feel that Bill Cosby himself is a monster.
Correct.
Because the show
and the same logic gets applied to Joss.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still enjoy, whether it's in comic form or in television form, the worlds that he created, but that doesn't mean that I like that man in any regard.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you guys have the Death of the Family Joker pop?
No.
I do.
That one. That's like the only Joker pop I want is the one when he's got the face being held on by his belts.
Yep.
And he's in the blue overalls or whatever. Yeah, that's the only reason I want that is because it's from the Capullo Snyder run on Batman.
Yep.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, I literally stalked Hot Topic to get that.
I don't blame you.
Because I'm like, when are you going to... That and the Red Wing Robin. So the Red Wing... Both of these are Hot Topic exclusives. Red Wing Robin is essentially Tim Drake.
Yeah.
It's referencing Red Robin from New 52. And I'm like, I need, like, I have pictures in my Funko album on Facebook where it's like Batman Beyond meets Tim Drake and meets the Joker and blah 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 blah. Like,
Speaking of which, I really want Batman Beyond to come back. Hashtag bring back Batman Beyond.
Don't we all?
Yes.
We've got the Batman Beyond Funko Pop sitting in the Batman Curio.
I want an Ace,
but
the Bat Hound Funko Pop, please and thank you.
I want to, waiting to pre-order the McFarlane Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond, because they've got 2 versions of it coming out.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when DC Collectibles, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but sometimes they don't always hit on every little thing. They released a Batman Beyond, a old Bruce with Ace. It was like a 3-pack. Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah, and again, like I've said before, I'm solely in other than the Nightwing, New 52 Nightwing figure you guys sent me, I'm solely in the Funko Pop world, but I remember when that came out and I'm like, ooh, that I would probably enjoy having. I don't need it. I don't want it right now. Perfectly fine without it. It's one of the... Yeah.
Sorry.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, they're paying attention to the Batman Beyond stuff, and the whole potentiality of having Keaton play old Bruce is just awesome.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'd be all about that. Yep. So much about that. But what I was going to say a second ago is when we were actually out the other night, I was looking at the Funko Pops like I always do, and I saw the Optimus Prime Funko, and I immediately thought of you. So
I tell you right now,
if it was Soundwave or Jetfire, I would have bought it.
Jetfire was only on the Funko Shop, I think, and then Soundwave, there's a regular Soundwave, and then there's a GameStop exclusive Soundwave. The only difference is the GameStop exclusive has battle damage, and it's not worth.
Yeah,
it's not worth. Just get the regular. The only time I will get a separate Soundwave that is different is if they do Soundwave Red Eyes, because Red Eyes was the cartoon and Yellow Eyes was the toy.
If they come out with Beast Wars, I'm done.
I told Steve Megatron, because Steve Megatron is he actually does, like, when we interviewed David Kay back in 2009 2010, and I'm like, okay, Megatron, meet Megatron, and Steve does the voice so well. I mean, like, literally he's got every inflection down, and David Kay told him, he's like, next to me, you're the only one that does it properly. Or he said something to him about, pays him this big old compliment. Because, hello, it's the guy that does the voice of the actual character telling, you know what I mean? So it's like, holy.
I have to.
Yeah, and I every time I bring up Funko, Steve's like, yeah, not until they do Beast Wars. I said, you do realize that once they do Beast Wars, you're going to go nuts because you're going to want them all, right?
Exactly.
Because, yeah, probably.
In this, we are kindred spirits. Yes.
Yes.
Dude, we got, what was it? Tubi? The Tubi app?
Yeah.
Yep.
We got Tubi just so we could watch Beast Wars.
Because they have it all.
And so we sat down and crushed it out in like a week.
I cry.
Yeah. It was sad.
You cry. That's the funny series.
I know, but what is he? What's his name?
Tigertron?
No, the one that does Terrorize.
Dinobot?
What?
Dinobot?
No,
yes.
No, the one that does the...
Terrorize!
Yeah.
Oh, that's Pterosaur. Tell me about the...
But no, the one that turns into a raptor when he passes in the show, I cry.
Yeah, it's Dinobot, Code of Hero.
When Dinobot dies, I cry.
Yeah. Well, when Dinobot dies, everybody cries. I mean, that's...
Exactly.
That's the Beast...
Sad.
It's Beast Wars, man.
It's the Beast Wars version of killing Optimus Prime.
Dude, hold on a minute now, because I was in that theater the day that movie released, okay? Sitting next to my grandma. Dude, I cried. I mean, like, ugly, weeping, 10-year-old boy sitting in the theater watching this shit. And I'm just like, what did you do? What did you do? And then Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. I'm like, oh my god! And freaking Unicron. And I didn't give a shit about Rodimus Prime.
Hey, watch it.
I'm gonna piss off somebody with that, but he's not Optimus, yo.
That's the point. He's better.
You don't get better than Peter Cullen, man.
Okay, voice-wise, maybe, but the point is, character-wise...
Dude came out of retirement to make Michael Bay some money. And then he's like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Hey, the guy they've got doing it now is pretty good. And, honestly, it is what it is, and Peter is who he is, and he has lived an amazing life and had an amazing career, and he's touched all of our lives. But honestly, at this point, it's like, for me with Transformers, especially the Generation 1 continuity of Transformers, it's like, it'd be great if you get them. If you don't, that's fine. Let's see what else. Let's see who else can bring a new-ish sort of spin to Optimus. And with the Netflix War for Cybertron stuff, Jake, what's his name? Fouché. Sorry, Jake. I think he's doing a really good job. I just think that his slow talking is better than his emotional talking, because when he gets emotional, his voice goes up and it gets like it's like he and Bale are just trading gravel, like spitting gravel at each other, because it's just
what are the other jokes doing?
Why did you say that name?
I've got throat cancer.
No.
Yeah, cancer is not a joke around here, folks.
No,
but still,
not a joke.
Stop doing that.
It's the running meme, so I'm going with social trends right now. Sorry.
I don't know if that was his choice or if that was.
Please don't cancel me. I don't really have much to cancel.
I mean, once your Funko Pop gets canceled, that's canceling somebody hard, though. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Did you see that right after they fired Gina Carano, that Hasbro pulled like all of her figures?
I have her Funko Pop.
She sits proudly over our heads right now, but we don't have the Black Series figure, unfortunately. She came out $20 and then went up to like $70 or $80 and then just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm actually curious now to see if the Funko app actually removed. No, she's still here. Oh Lord, yikes! There are 3 pop versions of her on here. It looks like they range in value from $32 to $45. Are they all the same?
Yeah, the $33 one.
Oh no, they're not all the same. Okay, good. That's because normally if there are 3 different ones, they will say that, oh, they're this, they're that. I kind of actually want the it does say FYE exclusive. I kind of want the FYE exclusive, the $32 one, because that's her with the big old cannon.
Yeah, the minigun.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's another one that I separate.
I mean, you know what? Like, everybody says shit on social media. Everybody. Like, again, as of this recording, because this episode will be out, in the future, I had a little meltdown over somebody stealing my table from my apartment door kind of thing. And it's like, I was civil. I wasn't, I was pissed and I was using all caps, but it wasn't like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. I'm going to go get arrested because somebody stole my damn table. Yeah. But it's just one of those things where everybody says stuff on social media, and whether it's political or not, and it just sucks. And most people should know what to say and what not to say. But again, you have to be yourself. And are there consequences to being employed by a mouse who has a reputation of being sort of PC? I really can't even say Disney is PC because
Disney.
I mean, Song of the South still isn't on Disney Plus. Damn it! Come on, put a content warning on it. Put it on the thing, and it'll be fun. Oh, and they're removing Peter Pan from children's, like, okay, you guys are parents, you guys have kids. What do you think about the Disney film Peter Pan being removed from the children's profiles on Disney Plus?
Yeah, there's that one and a couple others. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Dumbo and
Aristocats, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, Aristocats is one of them. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
I'm not going to voice my opinion on this because I'll get in trouble.
Lord have mercy. I'll be the one to come in on this one then. So here's my take on it. So I got to agree with Dolly Parton. And I think that there's a time where, or we're in a time where the world itself is changing again. And that it's one thing to be innocently ignorant and another thing to know and to continue on in that ignorance. And if this is the change that Disney wants to do, then I understand that. That's their right. These are their entities, their properties. And it's still there on the adult content. So if parents really want to show their kids these movies, they're still there. They didn't disappear them. So for me, it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
But I mean, that's just the thing. It's also the same thing with Dr. Seuss. The family and the foundation for them wanted to remove ones that had connotations of racism and with material that they no longer wanted associated with Seuss. And that is their decision to make. It doesn't mean that the books aren't out there anymore.
Yeah, and I that whole thing, I solely blame the media. I don't blame the media for the family and the foundation wanting to remove the books. I blame the media for how it was reported, because the way I saw those articles, at least the headlines before I actually read the articles,
right,
was like, hey, let's put Cat in the Hat on this and say that they're canceling him or something or other. That's not what it was at all. The books that they removed from publication were not the super famous ones.
Correct.
Like,
they were
these
other
were books
ones
that I
in the library that literally had stuff that they just no longer wanted to be associated with Seuss. And I agree with you. I think that the media literally launched a firestorm because it went nuts on social media. Yep. And once I saw what it was, I was like, okay, but why are you guys so mad?
Yeah. Because of the way the media was portrayed.
Like, why? It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's the same thing as it is with Disney. If there are parents out there who really feel a wild hair up their ass to have their kids read these books are still in circulation. I mean, they're no longer trying to be sold by the family and foundation to be continued printing, but they're still there. You can still find them if you so choose to.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not like this is Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham or One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. This is books that aren't on the popular side of the spectrum from Seuss. And if the family wanted to make that decision, then unfortunately, guys, that's on the family. And that's something that should be respected.
Exactly. And
that's like his wife saying that due to how, any movie company that she gave the property rights to for that movie, she didn't like how they were coming out. So she said she wasn't going to allow any more movies to be made of her husband's books.
We're looking at you.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, we're looking at you, Mike Myers. But he wasn't the only one. I mean, she wasn't a fan of Horton Hears a Who, and she wasn't a fan of the Lorax.
Lorax was awesome.
I did love the Lorax, but
that was a great
again, film. I mean, that's his wife's decision because she wanted her husband's books, which were so important, to still mean what he wanted them to.
Right.
And that is completely understandable. She's respecting and being an advocate for him. So,
yep.
I mean, like I said, I know that it's a touchy subject currently because we're in the middle of a cancel culture. And the reason why is because our world is changing and you have opposing and driving forces. So, I mean, it's going to be uncomfortable until our world ceases changing. But it happens every generation. So,
I mean, if you ever read the digital Batman Beyond stuff that Kyle Higgins did.
Yes.
Oh. When they brought old Nightwing in and the bottom of the thing said things change, I'm like, oh God, you're just pulling at my heartstrings, Kyle. Oh. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I don't know. It's all kinds of crazy. And I'm sorry if they cancel one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. John Bernthal's going to come after them. You don't mess with the Punisher's fish, folks.
No.
404 error, comics not found.
Do we have any comic book reading recommendations that you guys haven't said on the show before we get the heck out of here?
Oh, crap. I can't remember what I've recommended.
That's not really fair, man.
You know what? I'm going to throw one out there, and this one might get hate and it might not, but I believe that people should give Heroes in Crisis a chance. If you haven't read it, you should. It's brilliant.
Controversial.
I think it's absolutely astounding.
I'm okay. I'd say give Jeff Johns' run on Justice League for New 52 a chance, because once it gets to the end and pays off in Darkseid War, it's genius.
Yeah, once all that stuff is collected, you know, I know a lot of it is, but
yeah, I've got the trades of all of it.
Yeah.
This is like 8-year-old material that I'm just catching up on. I'm like, this was really good. Fuck.
Dude, that's like me. It's like 20-year-old material, 80-year-old material, oh god. Like so this is episode 404, Comics Not Found, and we just recorded and released, as of this recording, episode 400 of the show, where Dan Clark and I, the comic concierge, and I talked about and discussed IDW's comic book history of comics with Fred Van Lent and Ryan Dunlavey, and just reading that book was like, comics has come so far, and there is still comics are never going to go away. There never will be a 404 Comics Not Found. At least not in my life. I'll be dead before that happens.
I bro pound my chest on that in agreement.
Because it's one of those things where, yes, controversial things may happen in comics, certain things may happen in comics, but these companies, unless, again, DC is Warner, Marvel is Disney. I mean, I could see if maybe Disney didn't buy Marvel, maybe Marvel might struggle, but Marvel had struggled in the past. So,
right. That's nothing new for either side, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm just excited to see what happens. I'm excited to get caught up. Like I mentioned to one of the guys that I did an Origins episode with, Desmond Reddick from Dread Media. I don't know. How much of a horror guy are you, Ed? I know Kendra is horror-tastic, but
I'm all about that shit, bro.
Okay.
OG horror fan.
Dead?
Yeah.
Okay, you do that a little too well.
I was obsessed with that when I was a kid, man.
I used to have a good impression of her, but I don't know if I can do it anymore. So,
the guy's name was Desmond Reddick. I've been listening to stuff he's done for years now. His main show that he created is called Dread Media, and they talk about all kinds of horror stuff. So I had him on for an Origins episode, and I had mentioned to him the 2012 to 2014 Marvel Iron Man series. He's like, which one is that? I said, it's this one. He goes, oh, I think I might have missed that one. I said, me too. I need to get these trades eventually myself so we can eventually... There's just so much. And that's the greatest thing about comics. There's so much, whether you like the old stuff, whether you're a moron like me that really can't get past anything that's before the year 2000, because I'm sorry. There are very few 80s and 90s comics that I really enjoy the art style on.
That's fair.
It just, I don't know. Modern.
I agree. I mean, right now is the perfect time, even if you're not a fan of comics, but it's the perfect time to come on, because literally almost everything is being made a comic. And if you're a horror fan, they're flooding the market right now. I mean, I am in horror heaven when it comes to these things. I mean, we've got Ice Cream Man that's out. You've got Revival. I mean, Philadelphia. I mean, it's great.
What was that one? Heads in a Basket.
Yes, John Hill in the game, and then you've got Stephen King's entity. What is it? Damn it!
American Vampire.
American Vampire,
What's that,
1976.
1776.
No, it's 1976.
My bad.
Oh, it is it is 19. Yeah.
Stop making me confused.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's out. It's great. I'm just that's just on, the scary spectrum. But I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Like you said, IDW's got Power Rangers and TMNT and Jim and the Holograms, and I mean, there's just so much. Just freaking get a dartboard and throw a dart.
Or buy a Spawn Compendium Volume 1.
I mean, my gosh.
Yeah, there's something for everybody in comics. Yep. There's absolutely...
It really is. And you don't have to be with the main two. I mean, there's some studios out there like Boom Studios or, like you said, Dynamite's got some good stuff coming out. I mean, there's all kinds of just little companies and
Dark Horse.
medium companies that are doing great shit.
Yeah.
I'll say this to the day I die. The Dark Horse run on Star Wars comics was the be-all, end-all to this day, period. And Marvel will never be able to touch it.
Yeah, but I do like what Marvel did when they started in 2015.
Yeah, but Dark Empire, man? Come on now.
Yeah.
Dark Empire, the Grand Admiral Thrawn comics. I mean, come on. You can't touch Dark Horse there. They've got it. They lock, stock, and barrel.
True.
They're like, no, we're done. We finished. We were done before the fight even begun.
Lord. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick 404 break, and we'll be back to close the show after this.
Decian, the superhero webcomic. Decian's got superhero antics and sexy girls. For action, comedy, mayhem, and more, read it now at Decian.com. DASIEN.com.
Well, I am shocked and dismayed. Well, now you can't be both. You be shocked, I'll be dismayed.
Coming in 2016, Steve Megatron and myself, TFG1Mike, bring you a brand new TV review show. Welcome to Podcaster Meets World. That's right, we're launching a Boy and Girl Meets World review podcast here on the GCRN. It'll take us 70 episodes of the podcast to review all 158 episodes of Boy Meets World. After that, we will tackle Girl Meets World. You can find Podcaster Meets World on GeekCastRadio.com and iTunes starting late summer, early fall 2016. So come on and walk through the world with us.
I love a thing they call.
Kid?
Yes?
Shut up.
Beyond the Night is the GCRN's latest review podcast. We are covering everything in the Knight Rider television universe. From the classic 80s TV series to the 1991 reunion film, Team Knight Rider, and the 2008 relaunched series as well. So join TFG1Mike and Dion the Music Man as they go in-depth and Beyond the Night only on Geekcast Radio Network. You can find Beyond the Night in iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
Because the world needs another movie podcast.
The Geekcast Radio Network presents for your listening pleasure the Cinema Geek.
Hosted by Amanda, Kevin, Matt, and Dan.
Each week we dive headfirst in the landscape of movies as we discuss movie news, play movie games,
go in-depth on reviews,
and even have a top 10 countdown or two.
Also, don't miss our director retrospective series where we review noted directors' movies film by film. Bottom line is, if you love movies and love podcasts, you need to experience the Cinema Geeks.
You can find us on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or GeekCastRadio.com.
On the Simplistic Reviews podcast, we talk movies. We talk TV. We talk...
Hello, Julie, what the heck are you doing?
Trying to make our spots sound more exciting by adding explosions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have got the point across with sound effects, not the real thing.
Car. Download this show on iTunes or at simplisticreviews.blogspot.com.
I'm sure your insurance company will cover that.
No, they won't.
No, they probably won't.
We are back. All right, what do you guys got going on, Ed?
Waiting on an influx of reading material. Currently resting, recouping from surgery, and that's all I got going on at the moment.
Kendra, what's in your wheelhouse? What isn't in your wheelhouse, I should say.
Right? Like, let's be completely clear. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, between podcasting and reviews and opinion pieces and just reading in general, I mean, that's really what I'm doing. That's where my home is. I have a 3-tiered shelf of to be read that is completely full, and I look at myself in shame in the mirror that it's still full. But I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, I
can read Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
I mean, that's just it. I'm doing reviews. I do news pieces. I'm getting ready to start doing reviews for you guys from IDW. I just got to pick something that calls. Still landing on Jim and the hologram. Even though I know it's already been done.
Hey, it's been done in podcast form. It was never done in written form, so that's fine.
Well, then that's what I'm going to use as my my
There
loop.
you go.
But I mean, that's really it. It's the same as always. You know, doing podcasts, which are always an absolute joy. Doing interviews with creators that are super passionate about their work that just makes me super gleeful, and reviews. I'm excited because they finally announced that the new Harley Quinn season 3 on HBO Max is set to come out at the end of 2021, beginning 2022. Super excited. And then I'll be back in my lovely, lovely wheelhouse of Harley Quinn because the new ongoing series is getting ready to drop with writer Stephanie Phillips. Cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am for that.
Yeah, because Future State genius.
Future State was absolute genius. And let me just say this. I've already said it on DCN, but it warrants an absolute say again. I love how genius the decision was to bring Stephanie Phillips onto such a major event for DC with Future State for Harley Quinn, and to have her do the 2-issue run for it to introduce the readers not only to her writing style, but also to how she views Harley Quinn in preparation for her to take over the ongoing series. It was an absolutely brilliant decision, and I hope that her run on Harley Quinn is everything that my expectations have.
That would be really good, hopefully.
I am very, very excited. So,
coming up next here inside the Pull Bag, we've got these guys are going to be joining me back up with Radiant Black number 1 and 2 from Kyle Higgins and Marcelo Costa from Image. And then Mikey O'Sullivan from Moonbase 2 joins me to talk about my buddy's comic Immortal Orphans issue 2. That's coming up. And then Autobotly April starts, where Steve and I are going to go through Transformers Volume 2, The Change in Your Nature, Volume 3, All Fall Down, Galaxies 7 and 9, Transformers Beast Wars number 3, and then Galaxies 10 to 12. So that's what's coming up here inside the Pull Bag. Where can everybody find you online, Ed?
Facebook, Edward Hale. Instagram at ZSithRules. YouTube at SithRulesEd. And Twitter at BadEd700, posting Call of Duty videos.
Cool. What about you, Kendra?
I'm gonna go ahead and just do the line. So if you're looking for my reviews in any way, fashion, or form for any of the companies that I work for, you can Google me at Kendra Hale Reviews, and it'll bring up all of them. But if you're feeling froggy and you want to have a conversation, I welcome you to message me or hit me up on Twitter at DevourAllWords.
She said Google, not Oogle, folks. And as we found out tonight in the preparation for this podcast, you just Google Kendra Hale without anything else next to it, you're going to find a whole bunch of other Kendra Hales other than her.
Add reviews.
There you go. Kendra Hale Reviews. There you go. Maybe you should change your name.
You know?
I mean, all the authors are doing it this time, Noah. Alexa. Sorry. Hey, Alexa, find Kendra Hale on Google. I hope everybody's smart devices just went crazy. They probably didn't. I am at TFG1Mike on Twitter. You can hear the rest of the contact information for GCRN in the outro. We are going to get the heck out of here. Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time here inside the Pull Bag.
Hey, this is writer Kyle Higgins, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pull Bag. Remember to always make your great escape into comics.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's first comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate and leave a review for the show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Become a fan of us on Facebook, facebook.com/thepullbag. Send us an email, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at thepullbag and at geekcastradio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.